Okay, yeah, now we here. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, Turfn Talks Podcast. Man, you got me, Ronay. You got the co-host Chef here. And before I say anything, I got to start her off with on Instagram. Follow us, Turfn101. That's TURFN_101. YouTube, like, subscribe. The main thing to do is subscribe. YouTube is the same handle. Turfn101. TURFN_101. We say 101, but come on now. Use your scholastic thinking. It's 101. We have a lot of problems with this, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. So, disclaimer. The things that might be said on this podcast, they are not the views of Turfn 101. No, I'm just playing. We got a guest here. I'm saying that because y'all that watching that No Swizz is gonna be talking his talk. Swizz he's gonna talk that talk. So we got Moonwalker Swizz here, man, from the Bruk Up Flexin community, man. He is I can give him the name OG because he is an OG. So, before we get to the first question, introduce yourself to the people. Give them a little something.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the second generation Godfather of Flex, and the new Godfather of Bruk Up, based on history, not the actual like a style, but for history purposes. The legacy of the Godfather was handed down to me from a gentleman named Rowan, it was first given to him from the creator of Flex in Brooklyn, which is Rocky. And I was given the title to be Godfather of the Bruk Up history, based on preserving history, not for the sake of like, oh, I'm the new Don, and for the sake of dancing. Even though necessarily the history increases me as a dancer, my job is to preserve the history of the dancing and everything that's come from Jamaica all the way to the States. Other than that, I represent Flex. I represent everything that's come out the dance hall. And I'm a person that I believe is well revered, and I'm gonna just keep counting it up.
Yeah.
My first question would be for the audience out there. We go bring it back just a little bit because I know you got some things that you want to address. You know what I'm saying? So tell the people, man, where you from? What state? Where you grew up? Tell the people where you from, brother.
Okay, born in Brooklyn, raised in Long Island, and I represent New York to the fullest. So I was born in Kings County Hospital, which is in Flatbush. I was raised in Freeport, aka Port Knox, which is out in Strong Island, also known as Long Island. I lived in Florida for 2 years. In Orlando, I went to Freedom High School, went to Freeport High School. After I came back, graduated. I lived in California for 5 years in the Bay Area. Shout out to all my turf familiar out there. I lived in the Bay Area, going to school where I got my degree in cinematography. And other than that, I've had a great childhood growing up. Surrounded by family. I have a dope tribe of people that helped me become the man that I am and things like that. So for the most part, it's like I could definitely say like I'm not suffering from a lot of stuff that young kids may go through in a single parent household or a no parent household or things like that. I've had my discrepancies, with the streets and stuff like that. Other than that, nothing to kill the integrity of my character or anything of that nature. So when I did my dirt, I did it. And when I was able to find the freedom to get out of it, I got out of it.
Right. And congratulations on your degree, brother. That's a big accomplishment. So go ahead, Renee. You got something you want to ask him?
Yes. So since we're talking about your origins and your where you're from and all that, let's give the audience us a vibe, a feel. How was it growing up from young Swizz to in Brooklyn? Let's say this is before dancing and anything. How was that environment for you growing up as a kid?
Well, I was raised in a Jamaican household. I was around the Caribbean. My parents is Jamaican, born on the island. My aunts and uncles, my mom's and my pop's tribe is strictly Brooklyn people, and
Right.
Outside of before I really moved to Long Island, and in the midst of living in Long Island, I was always like still in Brooklyn. Like my family always just came back to Brooklyn, even when we moved. So for me, it was like I was always between roughly maybe 2 to 3 spots, but maybe two the most. So when I'm in Flatbush, I'm by my tribal aunt house. So the tribal in Flatbush is more so where the girls is at. So because I have two sisters, this is where my mom spent a lot of her time. So this is where a lot of
Right.
the women are. When I'm in Canarsie now, Canarsie is where like all the guys are. So me and my little brother would be over there because over here now at my godparents' crib, it's the dynamic is more male and female. It's more balanced versus in
Right.
Flatbush, like I said, it's more women dynamic. And if I go to like East New York at my uncle crib now, which is one of my dad's close friends, it's strictly more men over there. So that's a dynamic. And growing up, like I said, strictly dance hall. A lot of music is being played. A lot of
Parties,
good
bro. You
Jamaican
said
food,
Jamaican.
party vibes. You know what I'm saying?
A
And
lot of
people
parties are
that
beef
that
parties.
heavy on the fashion. They
Mm-hmm.
brought they brought what Jamaica is to the States, and they stuck to that. So that's what I grew up
Right.
in.
Right.
Right.
People that was strict on education. I grew up around my parents and my tribe being strict on education, strict on
Mhm.
presenting yourself in the right manner, having respect and decency and things like that. So I wasn't, again, raised to be somebody that was like, out of pocket when it came to like
Right.
how to
Right.
govern yourself through society. I wasn't
So let
raised
me
like
ask
that.
you this. We're going to stick on this real quick because,
Okay.
I have a foreign parent, but my dad's from Honduras. Even though we're Latino, Afro-Latino, still kind of Caribbean culture because they're on the island of Rotan.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your dance style, right, do you have those? Are most the flexors from your generation, are most of them, do they still have the Jamaican ties? Or are they Brooklanders who hung around few Jamaican people and the culture bled into the Brooklyn?
All right. So what happens is all right. When I came into the game versus how I grew up, when I
Mm-hmm.
was growing up, it was more dancehall based, and at the same time, based on other areas I'll be in, it's more hip hop driven, as in West Coast funk hip hop coming out the Bay, LA stuff, and then electric boogie type dancing.
Electric boogie type.
Versus, like, when I'm in between these two worlds, realistically, these two worlds are being put together.
Right.
So by the time I really stepped outside and came into my own, it was like what I grew up understanding was dancehall and hip hop was one.
Right. Right.
That's how I grew up understanding it was one. It wasn't, even though they're their own entities, I grew up understanding it being one. I didn't look at like, yo, shoot, what I'm doing over here is something that like the dancehall wasn't privy to.
Right.
The only thing you might not see more times is in the hip hop community is not a lot of dance hall being done. However, in the dance hall, there's a lot of hip hop being done.
Right. 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 Right.
So
So you'll see if you really pay attention to necessarily hip hop music, where dance hall culture is very impactful. It's there, it's prevalent. You can see it. It's just that you don't really see so much of the dancing aspect. You see more so the fashion aspect. You see more so the music aspect. You see more so the mindset.
Right.
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 You don't
Right.
really pay it so much to the dancing. Like the dancing is something that's kind of like um it's like you like you peep it, but it's like very surface level. It's very
Right.
surface
Right.
level.
So when was
Yeah.
the
When
first
it
time?
concerns the dancing, if you go to a hip hop club out here, that's why if you go to hip hop clubs out here in New York, you'll see that more times they kind of skip through the dance hall. They play surface level dance hall music.
Right.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So when was the first time that you started to get into Bruk Up or hear about Bruk Up and get into
I've been
Bruk Up?
into Bruk Up since I was a kid.
Okay.
I've been
Okay.
into Bruk Up since I was a kid. Like I said, my parents, they sent me to Jamaica just about every summer to winter. Like my mom and
Right.
my
Right.
pops could give you the real dates on how often they sent me to Jamaica, like realistically. And what happens is I have relatives, my tribal relatives. One of them worked in VP Records, so I was
Okay.
already hip to the industry from young. Like my tribal cousin Yolanda, aka Tanza, she worked in
Mm-hmm.
VP. Like we was already getting the rhythms before they dropped. We was already
Right.
meeting artists and stuff like that. We in the office. So, and a person like me was already touching big stages in Jamaica before I even did it in the States. So by the time now, what happens is, like, I'm noticing it, but I'm not so like enriched in it, only because the kids that are older than me get it more than I do.
Right.
So I know, like, the one arm pop, like boop boop boop. I
Yeah,
know
you're
all
doing
the
that.
dance hall dances. But you're talking about realistically, the Bruk Up was more than just a one arm pop.
Oh,
It was
okay.
more than that. So the people who never made it past the one arm pop, they didn't know that, they didn't really understand how much they had to add to their quote unquote Bruk Up style to be even looked at as like an elite.
So do me a favor for all of us, enlighten us. We need to. We're getting to the nitty gritty of this, of your style, which is great to me.
Right.
Where did the separation come? And I shouldn't even say where did the separation come. What was the development from dance hall to Bruk Up, and who's are some key figures you can say that are responsible for it?
Well, the thing about it is, to be clear, the Bruk Up comes out of the dance hall.
Right. Okay.
The dance hall is a place where people gather. So realistically, it's not, oh, where did Bruk Up go? No, the Bruk Up comes out of the dance hall.
So the dance hall originally, you're saying, is we're giving it, we see it from here on our side as a music style, where in Jamaica it's like, well, the dance hall is a place where people gathered, and this certain music is the music we just play and vibe to, and y'all call it dance hall. Is it one of those things?
Like, think of all right, let's say where Scorp, let's say, I'll use this for example. You see where Scorp would throw his battles?
Yeah.
Right.
Look at that. Look at the vicinity as the dance hall, as in this is the place y'all meet to do y'all dancing,
Right.
y'all
Okay.
vibes and all
Got
that.
you.
That's the
Got
dance
you.
hall.
Got
And
you.
in this place, they're doing different types of dancing. You're seeing different types of dressing. You're seeing different
Right.
types of attitudes. It's just that it's in this place, and it's
So
not like it's
let me
one
ask you this.
specific place.
So some of the Jamaicans too, they come actually from Jamaica to the dance hall as well.
No. Again, the dance hall is a place where people gather, right?
Got you.
It's like a club almost.
Yeah, it's like a club. It's like a club.
Yeah.
That's it. And what happens is, when the dance hall started to kick up, and now, in a sense, New York starts to form its own dance hall, like you have everything that's coming out of Jamaica is coming into the States.
Okay. That was one of my question. So it is.
It wasn't like New York made the dance hall. No, Jamaica has its own way of doing things, and in this place, and it could be anywhere. In this place, they could be in the middle of the street and say, "This is dance hall."
Got you. That
they could be in the middle of the street and say, "This is dance hall."
So within the dance hall, you had people who are doing different styles. Then you have people who are doing Bruk Up. Where did the Bruk Up? I'm getting this now. So in that whole frame of style, there's somebody recognized Bruk Up. Can we go down that lane? Can we get some history on it?
So I'm not gonna reveal too much information, because there's people that's necessarily gonna reveal it in due time. But I'm the person that they gave the information to, and I'm the one that kicked it out as much as I can, because I'm like, yo, I'm gonna feed you here. It's like I spoon fed him. So what happens is, Bruk Up, when George Adams, when he was coming up, let's say he's like second generation.
Like us in our respective styles. We're all
second generation. Let's look at it like that. He's second generation.
Oh.
And what happens is, he had another dancer that was next to him named Flavor Flav. That's another dancer.
I think I posted a video of him through Static.
Right.
Okay. So Bruk Up is second gen. We need to get that on the board. That's wild, because most of us, even me, I'm thinking he's first gen, but you're like he's second gen.
He'll be just for the sake of the conversation, he'll be considered second generation.
Right.
And then Flavor Flav will be right by his side. And then when these two are necessarily leading the way in this style of dance, other people will come up behind them.
Right.
So what happens is, when George was catching a fire, he was the first one out of many to spring up and get the opportunity to come to the States. So when he got the opportunity to come to the States, he was working with two powerhouses. One of them was Beanie Man's label called Shock and Vibe. So he was working with Beanie Man, and then he was working with Tough Gong, which is Bob Marley's tribe. Between these two parties, he got the opportunity to get his green card and come to the States in '96.
Okay.
Are y'all hearing this? I gotta say that. Are y'all hearing this? This is history for that ass. Keep going. Keep
to the States. He came to the States in '96 when he went to Cali first, went back to Jamaica, then came to New York.
Oh, so you said George, he went to Cali and came back to New York. That's what you're talking about, right?
He went George when George got to the States, he went to Cali first, went back home, and then he came to New York.
Okay, got you.
Right. But he was already, like I said, he was catching a fire. He was doing everything he was supposed to do back in Jamaica. So he was already touching big stages. He started to do music videos that necessarily, again, when he got the opportunity to get his green card, he had got a green card for 10 years. By the time he touched the States, he was 21. So he had a working visa for 10 years.
Okay.
And in that 10 years, he got busy.
He got, okay. Shout out to George Adams still, bro. That's wild, bro. And it's, you know what? Because I was waiting to hear from somebody who is Jamaican that has a Jamaican connection, because it's like, I know that dance hall connection was heavy. Hearing the stories from everybody, because at least the stories in your culture are the same leading up.
Right.
So now we understand George Adams. We understand the generations coming in. We are Brooklyn now. Who are some of the players that are in that next generation to spread Bruk Up and Bruk Up become this Brooklyn heavy thing?
So now in Brooklyn when it started to touch the States, is like, you have people in the streets and anybody who watched Dance Talk, you will see that I had some of the early pioneers that was paving the way for the streets before they would go on a show called Flexin Brooklyn. Flexin Brooklyn was like Brooklyn's versions of America's Got Talent.
Bro, everybody didn't mention that Flexin Brooklyn that came on.
Before Rocky and Sandra created Flexin Brooklyn, you had to be like in the block parties. You had to be at after school programs. You had to be in the clubs if you could get in. And some of those early people, like I said, they were on the show. It's like you had groups like Suspense, which has Bingy in it. You had Ski Bashman. You have a dude named Gordon. You have a dude named Peanut from One Love. You have a dude named Icky. You have so many people that paved the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So these are the people that paved the way in the streets. But again, they're in different sections of different sections of Brooklyn. And at this time, gang culture was a new thing in Brooklyn. So it wasn't like everybody could move around freely how they want. So in a sense, you had to have what they call like a G pass to necessarily navigate how you want to, or you had to be so nice that people loved you for dancing. They say, oh, that's that dancer dude, let him in. Or that's that dancing girl, let him in.
Yeah.
So this is a question I wanted to ask you too. So what Bruk Up dance team are you a part of?
Well, for me, I didn't join a Bruk Up dance team. My first dance team was not necessarily based on just dancing. My team was based around a lifestyle.
Okay,
My team was based around me and my team. My first team was a group called X-Rated.
X-Rated.
That was my first team when I was living in Long Island.
That sound like the homie out here, X-Rated. Shout out to X-Rated.
We got X-Rated out here. Shout out to X-Rated.
We created a lifestyle brand, not a dance group. We created a lifestyle brand. Like my team, we invested into the music side, so we were DJs. I do music, I dance, we travel, we are invested into fashion. So the way we impacted and cultivated our town was based on that.
Okay.
So then when I joined when I moved back to Brooklyn, that's when I joined Collateral Damage.
Okay.
So that would be the first flex team and the only flex team I ever been a part of.
What age were you at this time? Around what age?
When we first started X-Rated, I was probably 16, 17. around them times. And then when I joined Collateral, I was roughly about what, 18, 19.
So
Right
when
after
you
I
joined,
pretty much right after I graduated high school, I would end up running into Collateral and joining them just about in the fall or winter of 2006.
so X-rated. Let's take you to X-rated real quick. We're gonna go down the timeline. So during your X-rated time, because you saying you started off dance hall hip hop combo, right? And Bruk Up. So X-rated. Were you still? What was your main style? Did the connects come in? Because I want to ask, when did people start connecting?
It came like my style was during my X-rated days. I had a combination of styles, but the combination strictly like the foundation of how I dance is and always will be dancehall and West Coast hip hop funk with the electric boogie.
Right.
Like that's me. That's my foundation. That's what I've been like nurtured to do.
Right.
And in that time, it was like when I was coming up, I was surrounded by people who did dance hall, and I was surrounded by people who was into the hip hop. So I was blending b-boy material, electric boogie material, dance hall material into my style.
Okay.
And it was coming together. So by the time now I would move into Collateral, that's where my style really started to develop more into, like, I had the bone breaks, I had my tuts and everything.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I want to make sure I give people their proper due. The person who inspired me, right? It goes like this. The person who inspired me with the whole tutting situation is I could sit here and say, yo, Michael Jackson's Remember the Time, right? But I'm not gonna. But even when I mention that, that's not the thing that had the greatest impact on me.
Right.
When I used to be at one of my close friends, my X-rated brother, my friend Dre, I used to be in his house because this when the internet first dropped. So I would go to his crib to use the internet. YouTube came out. I'm exploring the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was watching this dude from Russia. I forgot his name. I got it saved for when I do my docuseries, and I'm gonna really like get detailed with it. But there was a dude from Russia I was watching. There was this young Asian dude I was watching. And then, I'm watching Mr. Wiggles. And it turned into, by the time I saw my son, Gutter, Corey from a group called Showtime that went into main event, that went into Ringmasters.
Right.
Corey's style of necessarily what we call connects and flex, his ways of tutting was what really catapulted my mind to say, oh, I'm going to do this. And then later down the line, it was dudes like Poppin' Pete that said, I love a tutter who could break it down.
Right.
And that's what made me get deeper into it. And before...
So my bad. So to give clear content, what is Ringmasters?
Yeah. Oh, Ringmasters was the commercial group that came out of Flex.
Got you. Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you out. Just trying to get clear content.
Was the one. They were one of the, I would say, the first group to really have commercial success out of Flex.
Got you. Okay.
Oh, they was on the remember they were on America's Best Dance Crew. Yeah, I remember.
Right.
So, did that connecting style birth out of the flexing part or the Bruk Up part, or is that connecting a whole nother thing on the song?
Well, when you know the history of Corey realistically was taught hip hop mechanics. And the hip hop mechanics he was taught was the things that were coming out the West Coast funk, just more so on the electric boogie side, New York's version.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so when he was given the scrolls from Damien Bus Out, he took that and necessarily took it to another level.
Right.
And a person like Corey would be considered a hybrid because he understands how to put that electric boogie style with the dancehall. So he was a hybrid.
Right.
Well, you, one more thing, because I got to get this in. When I watch you are literally an OG. You up there, but yet you're really the only ones that can really get down heavy with connecting and tutting. What made you like, is it because of the dance hall hip hop background that made you be like, I could do this? Because when I look at all the other OGs, most of them, your Pobas, your Ghosts, and they just strictly Bruk Up.
Well, for me, necessarily, I always branded myself from even before I even came to Cali. I had put out 2 DVDs where I told everybody I could sell you a style.
Mm-hmm.
And that was to necessarily get people to understand I had more than one style to offer, even though I loved one particular thing and drove it.
Right.
What happens is I became good at this, great at this, awesome at this. It's just that I didn't forget about all the other styles that would be needed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, again, as I made sure I drove the whole tutting style, the whole connecting style, I had created a formula for myself that necessarily put me ahead of a lot of people.
Right.
From the east to the west.
So you had
remember even when I moved to, huh?
I'm sorry, it must be a glitch or something because every time he's talking, it sounds like he stopped.
But it's okay. It's a delay. You good? It'll render. Don't trip.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, brother. So you said you put out 2 DVDs, man. So what are these DVDs called, and where can we find them at, man? Because that's interesting right there.
Oh, I have put out 2 DVDs. They're on YouTube right now. It's called I Can Sell You a Style.
I can sell you.
So I was showing people like different concepts through tutting, waving, floor moves that we call get low. So floor gliding. I was showing people hat tricks, how to use props. I was getting into it creatively, showing different people things. And then by the time I got to Cali, like I was giving away. At first, I was selling the DVDs. But then
you had a battle. You had a battle. You were giving away at the battle. Remember, you had a battle in the city.
And I started to give them away for free because you know who really inspired me to really dig deeper into my hustle? It was Retro.
Retro.
Oh, man, shout out to Retro, man. Shout out to
left
Retro.
and right and making a killing.
Right.
So I said, yo, I'm going to come over here because I got a different approach to how I dance. I'm going to get in my bag, make a couple dollars. And then I said, yo, you know what? Start giving away for free so it could get into people's homes. So they can start doing their own studies.
Right.
Because when I got to the Bay, I lived with Efraj first and Neem, God rest Neem soul. I stayed with them for a little bit. And then I lived with Slow. I lived with Brandon out in Antioch. When I lived out in Antioch, one of Slow mans came to the crib and was like, yo, let me see them hands real quick. I started, showcasing what was up. And he looked at me, he said, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Rated R name is Ronnie too.
Ronnie, his name Ronnie,
He said, yo, bro, son hands better than Ronnie's, bro. Son hands better than Ronnie's, bro. Like, son real with them things.
I don't know, man. I don't know no hands better than Ronnie's, man. Ronnie got them hands, brother.
At that time.
Don't do my boy Strobe and Intricate like that. Strobe and Intricate is up there though. They up there with them hands.
I'm gonna tell you, but this the funny part. You gotta remember, in my days when I was living in the Bay, those were babies.
No, they for sure was. They was young. They was all teenage. They was young. They was young.
Like you gotta remember,
now, for sure.
Like a person like Strobe, I'm not taking nothing away from them. It's just that again, they were in my presence.
Right.
So they were seeing the work take place. They were seeing things that they were never on that they could add to their repertoire.
Right.
Because I could sit here and say in truth, like, yo, listen, that's why at times I got the live save and all that. Like when I was living in the Bay, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't being done up until I got there.
Right. I mean, y'all had a whole different style than we had. The youngsters did with Titan over here. And if you watched or some of our videos, literally, I'm gonna say this again. I don't care what nobody's saying. All the Titan over here came from Farside. It came from CJ. All the tricks and stuff. Literally, most of that shit, a lot of that shit, 90% of it came from Farside anyway. And he's prevalent in the popping community. I can see how just visually seeing people created that. That's why our styles are different. because I think the tugging style over here still has a more Oakland Boogaloo West Coast style look, where connects literally have a rhythm look to it, like a riding the rhythm. Like y'all literally have a different look, but we adapted some of that out here. Even now, like you'll see, Turfers have their own day bone break, and it don't even look like y'all no more. Right. You know, it's an adaptive thing, and it's an adaptive thing that happened. But I noticed, yeah, you came out here and you were already prevalent and heavy in the game. Like right. I'm gonna probably have to link in some of your footage mid-interview.
Hold on, I gotta free up some space. Let me free up some space real quick. Hold
on.
Yeah,
hold on. You good?
Let me free up some space.
Hey, go ahead, y'all. I'm not gonna stop recording because mine's still going. Man, we giving y'all the raw right now. We still recording. Mine's still going.
Oh, he got a bad connection going on right now.
Yeah. No, he'll hop back in because I'd rather the interview just be like this. This is real. Hey, y'all enjoying this one? Yeah. If you is, set a comment down. Make sure to subscribe. Okay. Connecting street dance styles. Turfn 101. TURFN_101. Okay.
But see, we about to start getting to the, you know what I'm saying, to the some controversy stuff too right now too, man. Because I wanted to ask him too about Static Shock. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to ask him like you know, some of the things that, because when we interviewed him, what were some of the things that he wanted to address during that interview with Static Shock?
Right. So. Shout out to Static Shock though, man. That was a nice one, bro. I appreciate that from the culture, you know, and this is, hey man, we keeping it funky, man.
He back on now.
I said, Swizz, we ain't stopping no recordings. This is going up just
so man, we about to get to the nitty gritty of this, right? Because we know some things that you want.
Wait 1 second before we get to the nitty gritty. Shep usually asks this. I gotta ask this. Then we'll get to the we'll get to the nitty. All right. Moonwalker Swizz. I always wondered, did your name come because wait. How did you get the name Moonwalker Swizz, bro? I mean, he might have to cut up some more. This is the reality of this, y'all, but it's cool.
What is that?
You know,
man?
people be wanting me to edit videos. If you don't have enough space, sometimes you use your phone. So you see, I use my laptop. I'm not using none of my phones, right? So if you use a phone, you have to clear up space because as it's recording, it's taking space, and then you upload it to Riverside, and then it'll be it. And I see sometimes people need to clear up a little.
Oh, all right, here we go.
There you go. He coming back in.
Back. So Swizz, bro, don't. Where did your name come from? I was gonna be funny because I was like, does your name come from because you look like Swizz Beats?
All right. So,
hey, he do look like Swizz. Yeah, they do look each other.
That's how it started. All right. So
wait, your volume, bro. Your volume.
You can hear me?
Make sure you ain't muted.
You can hear me?
Yeah. You might.
Yo, volume.
All right.
We can't hear you.
When I was
no, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can see you though.
You can hear me now?
Y'all, he said, "Can you hear me now?" No, not yet.
No.
All right, hold on.
You think we're gonna have to restart it or something, Renee?
I mean, always pause. It's at 33 and then connected, but I just want to see if we can just go all the way through.
All right.
Hold on. You can hear me?
Yeah. Because right now we at 34 minutes. You know what? You guys, I'm gonna stop this real quick. We're gonna upload. We're gonna reconnect. We're gonna do this part 1, part 2. All right.
Right.
This is about to get lit though. So yo, we back before we parted. Before we get into the nitty gritty, like I said, I did my fingers like this because you know it's Davis. So My question is Swizz, because I always wondered why. I was like, why do they call you Swizz? So I asked them, do they call you Swizz because you resemble Swizz Beats? So now Moonwalker Swizz is gonna give us the story on the name.
All right, so pretty much how I got my moniker was it did start off as, yo, I look like Swizz Beats. So a close friend of mine's by the name of John,
Undeniable
his
look,
older
though.
brother Rodney
Undeniable.
was like, we cracking jokes on each other. And at
Yeah,
this time, like I had a chipped teeth. So he'd be like, yo, you look, and Swizz Beats was just coming up. So he happened to
right.
be on the television. He's like, oh, you look like Swizz Beats. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you Swizz Teeth. And I'm like, what? So that we cracking on each other. So I'm sitting there like, I don't look like this man. I look like my pops.
Right.
So after he said it, and like again, Swizz Beats is springing up, like he's all over the television.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime somebody must have seen him, they looked at me and was like, yo, you look like Swizz Beats.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, all right. So the world is sticking a name to me. Like, so at this time now, I'm like, all right, I got to create my own identity with this thing. I'm not going to be Swizz Beats. You're not going to call me that in the streets.
Right.
So I had a thing with the women. So I changed it to Swizz Daddy. So Swizz Daddy was the thing. And then when I start to get deeper into music, because I'm a musician, I write music, I turned it into Young Swizz. But I'm like, yo, that ain't clicking. That's not doing it for me.
Right.
And it wouldn't be until I was in Cali. I'm in Cali and I just came home from church and I'm playing my video games. So I'm heavy on the retro stuff. As much as I like all the PS5s and the Xbox Ones and all that, I'm more so like get into a space of creativity when I'm playing my Super Nintendo or my Sega Genesis.
No, I feel that. I respect.
So I'm playing Moonwalker at the time. And as I put the game on, like it just came across the screen like, dun.
Gotcha.
It come on like that, Jim. They come on with the music. Yeah, it come on. Yeah.
So right.
It started to get more and more big because, again, I'm in the Bay with it now. This is where it's really birthed out. The Moonwalker Swizz name is birthed in the Bay. So I remember being at street shows, and some people be like, "How you name Moonwalker Swizz and you don't glide?" And then this is where certain dancers in the Bay start to test me in certain areas, and I would show out at the street show. So pretty much when I reach past people's expectations, they like, "Oh, we respect that." Okay. Like, oh, nah, you definitely deserve the name. Like, we see what's going on. And then I remember one day, my son Bones, shout out to Bones from NLS, he used to make these jeans called shiny jeans. And he had put my name on the jeans. And I can remember being at the street show one day, and the way I had a Michael Jackson Moonwalker airbrush joint. So I had the jeans and the joint, San Francisco, very LGBTQ up and all that.
Right.
So I had to fit on it, and certain dancers looking at me like, yo, Swizz, you tripping. But I'm like, yo, this is great this is great marketing. I'm like, yo, I don't look at the rainbow from the LGBTQ's perspective. I look at it from God's perspective. This is a covenant. So the way you looking at it, it don't move me.
Right, man. It's an electromagnetic spectrum.
This older white woman came up to me and she looked at the jeans.
Visible light.
And she said, yo, those jeans is fire. What it say? And I told her what it said. She said, that's a very cool name. And more, the name just started catching a fire. Like, oh, nah, Moonwalker Swizz. So I thank Jesus for, again, allowing me to be in a space of where, I'm creative and I'm just, chilling. I'm safe. I'm good in my peace and I'm enjoying stuff that I love. Stuff that's going on in Brooklyn or in the Brooklyn dance community concerning Flex. And anything that's come into Flex is like, yo, that research is coming from my hard work. Like,
so is it because of your, just a direct question. Is it because you're Jamaican, you have Jamaican blood, right? Is that your direct connection over, or that's why I asked you earlier. I said there's Brooklyn dancers who are from Brooklyn and they immerse himself in Jamaican culture. So do you think you have the key?
The thing about Flex is I always
Mm-hmm.
break it down like this. As far as like when dance hall became a thing and pretty much where people were called in. You have just regular Americans who fell in love with dancehall culture.
That's
You
what I'm
have
talking
the
about.
Jamaicans that were rather born on the island or they were born in the States and raised in a Jamaican household and they gravitated to what they know because it's their culture. And then you have the other young men and women that come from the surrounding Caribbean countries that surround Jamaica and they fell in love with the Jamaican culture.
Right.
So I'm not sitting here saying because quote unquote I'm Jamaican, I get a rite of passage to hold some like torture hammer over your head. It's really when nobody was caring for history because they took everything that was in front of them as at face value. I was the person who understood from the gate how important education is, especially in anything I do, not just as a dancer, in anything I do. The way the Flexin formula came together, again, it starts with Rocky and Sandra. If they did not create the platform, there will be nobody calling anything a flex, right?
So okay, go ahead, cook.
When the dance hall came into the scene, right? Dance hall took over Flex, right?
Right.
And everybody, the majority was doing anything that was dance hall oriented. So whether it was Gerald Bogu Levy's movements or Bruk Up's movements or anybody else from Jamaica, this was what you were doing up until you learned how to innovate those things, right?
Right.
In the midst of the innovation, right? A lot of people brought different elements from movies, cartoons, television shows into their style. Again, though, they still look like they were part of the dance hall, like portion of the show, of the style. What happens is there was a generation that came in that by the time they saw like a Mr. Wiggles tape, they drifted away from doing dance hall, but kept the Mr. Wiggles like material to dance hall music.
Right.
So it's like, yo, we're not gonna do the Bruk Up and
Basically, we're gonna pop to dance hall.
Look. We not. This is what a generation did. We're not necessarily new styles of Bruk Up hall music. We're going to take Mr. Wiggles learned, developed, and put that to reggae music, to dancehall music. So the approach when we dance is totally different based on the music that we're dancing to.
The Bruk Up and Flexin mixed out together.
Yeah, I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing today because again, even the Bruk Up dancers, the dancehall dancers from Jamaica, right, who paved the way for us to do this. They look at what we do like, yo, y'all took it too far. Like y'all took it too far.
Sounds familiar, bro.
Too far. You know what I'm saying? Like too far. Like when I say and when I hear, mind you, the elders, I'm in contact with them constantly. So when they tell me that, it's like, how far did they go? They like, yo, they went far away from what we do.
Way out.
Right.
Way out because why? It doesn't really incorporate any original dancehall mannerisms.
Right.
So when you see them dance, it's like they're here with the waves. They got the glides. They got the bone breaks. They got the elements that would come to be flex. It's just that when you look at the dancers who paved the way in Brooklyn, it's like they look like the innovation that a person from Jamaica be like, yo, brethren, I think they're fire. Versus, it's like the person in Jamaica looking at the new kids today and be like, yo, brethren, you done leave the tape. So when we do our best to get them to necessarily get to the foundation, we not stressing them because we got to appreciate evolution. It's just that one of those things where we, like a person like myself, I do my best to get them to understand how important the foundation is because I'm like, I could guarantee you, without this foundation, this will be the reason why if you go into like Red Bull or any of these other all styles, you're going to lose. This is where, in the foundation, is where it's more dancey with your body. It's more body movements. It's more
movement.
that. It's more movement, more character. It's more that. Versus it's like when you see how they dance today, it's like if you don't got to glide, you're not gonna move.
Right.
So look, let me do this because you brought up the bone break and hey, we gotta talk about the bone breaks, Swizz. You brought up the word bone break, so we gotta settle this. Not even settle this. You gotta clear this up for the whole everybody watching right now, all dance communities. Okay. Bone break, flexing, Bruk Up. I've seen bone break heavy in the culture out there. Flex culture a lot. I've seen, and a lot of us seen, Vogers do bone breaking, right? Where did the bone breaking come from in the culture? It could have just been originated because people are flexible.
I'm going to break this down for you because I already have it set to share with the world. So this is how it goes. Contortionism is an art form in itself that's based on the flexibility and bending of the body from the top, from the north to the south of your body. So your arms and your legs and your torso and all that. When you pay
preach, brother.
Necessarily how they would dance with how they did contortionism, it wasn't so much around dancing. It was more so shock value. Right. When you look at voguing, when you look at Willie Ninja, they didn't have a necessarily bone break style. They had a move. They had a move. Okay. If you look at, if you watch Solid Gold, if you look at the clip with Robot Prince and his man, they had a move. Mm-hmm. Certain other dance communities had a move. They didn't have a style.
Right. Okay.
They had a move, not a style. So by the time now God would bless the Flex community, it would start off with a little girl on the Flex showcase named Talia. Mind you, though, back in Jamaica, they were doing like flex movements.
They were doing this and walking. I seen old video. Yeah.
So watch this. There was a little girl on Flex in Brooklyn named Talia, and her group did the regular front back. They went front to back. Nugget now from the group Hyperactive that will graduate into Ringmasters, he would make it a style. Mm-hmm. He made it a style.
Shout out to Nugget. There we go.
We
get the history now.
So while there's other people out there who had moves, Nugget made it a style. So when Nugget made it a style, it birthed more people to create a styles. So when you see people necessarily doing the gun and having what we call a dead arm, they doing this, they popping their arm off and doing all types of stuff. You could look throughout history in the last 50 years. There's no other dance community that was dancing with their arms how Flex danced with their arms. Nobody.
So rather
everybody had a move.
We talking about bone breaking, flexing, Bruk Up, right? Because I'm a person that like to keep cultures together and keep everybody together, right? And I'm sure you do too. It sounds like that's what you like to do too, right? And some of the people from New York that interviewed too. It's just like lost of history. So you as an OG, right? What would be the solution that you feel that people, when they get on the platform, right, or they get on Turfn 101 or any platform and they represent Bruk Up, you as the OG, you that know your history, you as having people under you, what would you think would be more the solution to the problem and people not preserving the history, or what would you think would be the solution to keep everybody together, even the new school, even the flexers and everybody together?
Honesty is the best policy. First and foremost, you got to be honest, not just with your own story, with what you contributed to the game, whether it was big or small. Everybody don't have the same contribution, and everybody's not doing the same work. Everybody didn't put in the same blood, sweat, and tears. So when it all boils down to it, truth will keep us on one accord. And if you're a liar, you're just going to be the person that will find yourself on the side because you don't want to blend in with the truth. You don't want to stand firm in truth. That's the only solution. There's no other solution. There's no other thing to bring about. Bro. Truth keeps the people who love truth together, and lies keep other people separated.
Right.
I'm gonna say this. I agree with you because a lot of dance cultures and people we have come with the same thing. And I'm gonna say it like this: your role in the story, no matter how large or small, doesn't not negate you from being in the story. I think a lot of people have a problem with the character they are in the story, but sometimes
Right.
just because you're in the story and you have one page and somebody has a whole chapter doesn't mean that you're just not as significant in the total story. But that's for people to think of the total story. I think a lot of people don't think of the total story. They think of individual, how am I looked? But guess what? Your one sentence in the story is just as powerful as the person who has a whole chapter because you're in that same book. A lot of people.
Let me add to this too, right? Let me add to this too, right? Because the reason why I said solution, because some people, right, that's new, that's been under people or whatever, it could rub off because we went through stuff like this, right? And what that wasn't even a fact. People start thinking like they think they this or they're trying to shut us down or do this or whatever, and you be like, wait, hold on, nah, because what it sound like you're doing is something that we do too, is just paying respects to the gutterness of it and where it comes from. Because what's going to happen is that some people that, you know, like Bruk Up in Jamaica, they're going to hear this. They're going to hear these stories as it elevates. They're going to hear these things, and then they could be mad or they could be a bit upset and not inviting towards the new style of dancing because of the way that it's represented. You get what I'm saying? Because even when it comes to turfing, you have real hood gutter people, man, and you might not think they turf, but they're right there watching. They're looking at it. They're real hood. You get what I'm saying? So we don't push and force the history on anybody, right? But we also do our due diligence in trying to tell people where did it come from and the history of it, and we still embrace everything new that comes with it as well, right? So I mean, I just congratulate you, man, on really giving us this interview too, and because you broke some things down to me very much in detail and understanding what Bruk Up is all about, and just, you know what I'm saying, giving your ideology and your what the work you put in, man. You know what I mean? And this is like really new to me, man, and I'm happy to hear this.
Bro. This is fire, bro. I appreciate you coming.
They not gonna give it to you straight. Like let's say like the young kid Shock Life. All the outlets that he's showing you from Instagram to somewhere, I showed him. These are not, this what I'm saying, like this is not their research. They get introduced to something and it's like, I'm gonna now necessarily go over here and make it seem like I discovered it. So I'm about to make it seem like I'm the one who did it. And it's like, this is where you always gonna go wrong, because it's like, just play your part as, yo, I was a student over here. I learned so much, and now I can educate you and whatever. Don't make it seem like, oh, you've been doing it and you the reason why, oh, this is going on. Because these people found themselves, again, being exposed in so many different layers that it's like a person like Shock Life got told by one of the second generation leaders from Jamaica, like, yo, who's that? Like, or some like, yo, like, he's a baby, he's a kid. These people is telling the community, like, Swizz is family to us. They're not using these words to describe these other people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Their connection to these people is not deeply rooted in love and righteousness and doing right by people. They not received like that. So that's why it's like they can't govern themselves how I govern myself, because it's like, if you was doing it right, you'll get what you're looking for. But because you do it wrong, you get a backlash, you get a pushback.
You know, I hope what we do here on Turfn 101, man, we give everybody the chance to speak and give you know, the history, and for you guys to come together too as well, no matter the history or whatever, because sometimes things could be looked at like, you know, the past, right, and then you go into the present and what you're talking about right now in their interviews, and hopefully this dialogue, they can hear this and no one can take it in a way of, damn, man, this nigga, he said this or this person said this. Nah, and then come together like, man, how can we come together? Because we all really representing the same thing, right? But let's do this constructively. Let's get together. And I get what
That's the thing, Shep. That's the thing, Shep. A lot of things in life, when you're the leader, you have to accept the fact that everybody's not going to be down for what you got going on, because when it's all said and done, sometimes people are possibly asking themselves, why did he get chosen to do a job and not me?
Right.
So you can't expect everybody to be on one accord when there's a sense of jealousy and envy for a person.
Oh, you went out. Hey.
So when it's all
Yo,
said
we
and
still
done, it's
recording,
like,
bro. Hey, you know how to do it. This has been
for a
badass.
person like
I'm gonna
myself,
tell y'all
I
like
gotta
this because I know y'all
do
watching
the
Turfn
work
Dance Culture.
righteously,
So you see, we're not the
knowing
only
that,
dance style that
people are
goes
gonna
through
get
this.
what they
We
looking
are
for,
not.
versus
There's some
there's gonna
people
be
who
people that
hold a lot of
are just
responsibility
not too
because they
fond of
choose
what I'm
to,
doing
and
because it
they
doesn't
know people,
reflect
and
their plan.
they hold a different mission. If your mission is to be the best dancer, be you. But guess what? Some of our mission is to be the historian. Some of us in the first generation before us, we hung out with these people. We slept with these people houses.
Right.
We have hold a different loyalty to these people. You
Right.
know, so we cannot erase the people before you or not mention them. You have to take care of your culture. And this is the thing that I'm gonna say this. This is the
Well,
thing that
let me
black
say
people
this too, Renee. Let me say this
Go
too,
ahead.
Renee. This is now you got some people that's very book smart. You're not going to know about the Egyptian pyramids and some people just not going to know things, but to know a little bit of your history and have respect. And I think culturally wise, right, as in our ethnicity as black people, right, you know, and some people don't like to use the term black if you deep in history, right, because black means something, right? But just given an understanding of our ethnicity of people, black people, we so diminish our history because what was brought upon us and through the oppressor, right? So this is instilled in us history, and when we adopted the oppressor ways to create history too, as well, right? So we have a problem with history and the preserving of history, and letting somebody else see the talent in something and create the whole narrative and change it, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, like in all parts of turfing or whatever, we have obligations to people before us too, right? Because it's just called respect, right? Without getting technical.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, it's just respect, man, and then you get the clash at times because sometimes the truth seems like you're getting at somebody, and it's like, nah, nobody's getting at it. It's just we giving you the history or whatever. If you're listening and we see that what you like to do or whatever, and we just letting you know. So when you do decide and make it big, now you go to these places because you forgot about certain things, and these people probably really don't like you. You get what I'm saying? Because they come from a place of where it actually come from, and what he's talking about, Bruk Up, right? So man, it's just paying homage and respect because it's just like the Bay Area, man. Ain't nobody gonna not mention Too Short and Eve. You know what I'm saying? Because they paved the way. They are predecessors, right? You know what I'm saying? So you just, you go really hide E40 and Too Short legacy? No, you're not. You get them, you can't, right? You would make yourself look stupid trying to do it. So I think that as a collective,
you shouldn't.
Yeah, I think as a collective of people, man, especially because a lot of like stuff come from hip hop, and you got. Just like you can look at crumping and look at how Africans used to dance, and they do like this kind of crumping thing too. So it's a lot of history. And I think that what the beautiful thing about this is because dancing is a vibration and a rhythm that connects us all. So when you look at this as far as dancing, it's kind of like giving like Turfn 101, what we doing, giving that dialogue and conversation to unlock and give people the urge, you know what I'm saying, to want to know history. You get what I'm saying?
Thank you.
To want to know history, and that history can unlock, right? And then it'd be like, wait, hold on. Now people are starting to get back into the real hip hop era days where hip hop was educational. Do you get what I'm saying? So not shitting on any music nowadays, because I come from those days too, right? We all done been in the streets. It's nothing that we glorify. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We have to respect our elders. We have to respect the education. We have to respect, not to put down anybody in the hood, because we all come from there too, right? But not to glorify the poisons and stuff like that. And this all collectively is talking about history, man. And once we can understand that, and even like I was telling him, the dialogue of him telling his story and speaking about Static Shock and Ghosts and stuff like that, hopefully this will create something for those brothers to get together, however that is in their area and region, you know what I mean, to come together.
Because at the end of the day, all three of them are still trying to promote and sponsor the history of their style. Even though like the waters can get muddy due to miscommunication, lack of information, and so forth. But that doesn't mean in a bigger picture, everybody's mission is still the same. That's why we can have these interviews with them and connect the bridges while we're doing Turfn Talks. This is why we come and talk, just like you said. This is the beauty of this. I love it. This is like a lot of our cultures need this. Some of us are further ahead. Some of us are a little bit behind. You know what I mean? But a lot of us need this platform. Swizz, you back?
Yeah,
Swizz, we
that's
got
what
like
broke
Swizz. We
up.
got like three. I ain't gonna hold you, Swizz. We got like 3, 4, 5 minutes
Let's go.
left.
Let's
But
go.
we kept the recording going, and we've been talking. You're back, bro. So I want to just say this, bro. Man, this has been great. We need you for like a part 2, part 3, part 4, damn near. And if you could connect us to some dance halls or some OGs or something, bro, let's pop off on a 4 panel, right? And do the same and
Hey,
get it out there
now
because
I want to say I want to say this.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to say this to you, Swiss man, because I understand as one of the OGs as they consider me to be out here in Oakland. I never glorified the turfing and meaning like how we paved the way and stuff like that. But I'm honored for people that do recognize me, man, and we're recognizing you. And I like what you're doing, bro. And I
Likewise.
as sometimes the OGs, right? The people that don't get our flowers sometimes. That gotta be all right, but sometimes we have to find ways to get in there with the youngsters or get in there with Static Shock. And hopefully, man, I'm really hoping, bruh, that you guys really can come together, man, because sometimes that is more too of your job and your mission too, to be the example. And sometimes that could become a little bit like, damn, man, you trying to understand, but
It's
yeah, but
tedious.
that's honestly, just hear me out, okay?
My
Just
thing
hear me
is
out,
I
sis. Look.
understand what I understand is whether old or young, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
me, because again, people didn't think that certain people would come back and tell you tales about, oh, this one he wasn't this, or this one she wasn't that, oh, this one
right,
was really nice, oh, this one was really in the parties and at the school after school programs and this, oh, before this was a thing.
right,
Yeah.
right. I'm
So
hoping, man.
so God gave me the ability to find the people to show you the beginning before Flex in Brooklyn was a thing, and when Flex in Brooklyn became a thing. And then
Right,
God let me show you when Flex in Brooklyn was a thing, who was reigning and doing their thing, Flex House and some, and then and then moments that's post Flex in Brooklyn that would be World Dance, Battle Fest, Dream Ring, Killer Be Killed, or any of these other big dance contests that came about.
right,
Mm.
right,
Like when the whole, let's say in truth, if I'm correct, when the whole Bay Area versus Brooklyn thing kicked off, that was because of my people at World Dance.
Mm.
That's how, if I'm correct, like that's how that kicked off. We shot Flex Wars, and then there was a part where it's like I forgot what was happening in the turf community, but it was like shots was being thrown over here, and we just answered back like turf.
Online shit first. It was
Yeah, like
online
what?
back and forth
Da da
before
da
we did it
da.
first.
And
You know
then
what? And I think you know what happened is Reem jumped on it first. Reem jumped
Reem
on it, and we had a
Reem
Coliseum
jumped
battle.
Reem jumped on it
Jumped on it
after we opened the gates.
because it was us going back and forth online on YouTube talking about who did this and yeah, you're right.
World Dance,
right,
I was working with World Dance at the time. World
Mm-hmm.
Dance opened the gates for that communication, and it was individuals like Reem who jumped on it. And if I'm
He
correct,
jumped
shouts
on
to
it
Mikey from Golden Gigs. Y'all had that big event at the what's that? The Oracle, the Old State.
Yeah,
right,
it
right,
was
right.
Rail, Levant, man,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
Lisa.
that's what I'm
Some
saying. Y'all
people
had
were
the joint at the
architecture, yeah, at the
stadium,
Coliseum.
and then it was like after that, that's when it kicked up more.
Yeah,
After
right,
that's what
Reem and
Get
them
Wet kicked
jumped
it
on
up.
that,
Get Wet kicked it up. Yeah,
yeah,
after that.
get after Golden Gigs, Get Wet kicked up. Get
right,
Wet
right,
end up creating a relationship with Dex, DFS,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
DSP, and then
right,
that whole situation kicked up.
right, right,
However, like to my knowledge, like I said, World Dance opened that door and everybody benefited from it.
right. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
why I was sitting here like I could tell people I was around for a lot of these transitions, a lot of these paradigm shifts. For everything
right,
that
right,
happened before me, it was educated to me. For
right,
everything that I was there for, I could speak on up until this day. Like, yo, listen, this is how this happened, this how this happened. Or you think he or she's responsible? No, let me show you.
right.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, by the time I got to the Bay, you know how I always looked at it? I thought it was like an even exchange. Took rated because
Yeah.
Brooklyn took rated R and the turf community took me.
Right,
Yeah.
Like it was an even exchange.
All right.
Yeah, because Rated R was in Brooklyn heavy.
I don't want to hold you, Swizz, bro, but because you done gave us like we done gave us like an hour and a half, bro, and this is all good, bro. This is all good shit. I really appreciate this interview, bro. You coming on,
man. I appreciate it too.
It's been fire, bro. You gave us some fire history. I want to say like give you a couple minutes to spill. Tell everybody what you got going on, where they can find you at, anything you got going new, bro. Movies, filming, you do so much, bro. Let's give the people a spill real quick.
All right, so I'm getting ready to release some music. Like I said, I'm a musician. I make music, so I'm about to kill them with some music. Dance Talk, new seasons of Dance Talk is about to start airing. So you're going to get, like I said, I gave everybody a preview of like the Boogaloo Shrimp. But like I said, I got Poppin' Tacos last interview. I got a whole bunch of interviews from so many different corners of the dance world. Because like I said, my arms stretch far. I thank Jesus for that.
Right.
Outside of that, I got other shows that I'm working on that I'm getting ready to release. And, you know, I'm just really going to do what I'm supposed to in the media space, in the music space, in the film space. And just share, you know, my light that the Lord has given me, and just direct people to the truth of Jesus Christ at the same time. So that's really what the main goal is. It's like while I'm entertaining everybody, it's like don't forget God in the mix.
So what about social media? What about social media? Where can they
social media? My handles is Moonwalker Swizz, More Than Dancing, and Moonwalker Swizz Productions. So through those 3 channels, you're gonna see me flooding everything. I'm on YouTube, Moonwalker Swizz, Moonwalker Swizz Productions, More Than Dancing. So those same 3 names is the same 3 names across every platform.
Across everything, okay.
Yeah, man.
So Moonwalker Swizz.
And man, I thank you, man, for being on Turfn 101. And man, at the end of the day, man, it's all about these kids, man. And you know, putting in their mind, man, you know what I'm saying, come together, man, and just learn certain histories, man, and just, you know, collaborate with others, man. So I like the work that you put in, man, and we very much appreciate having you on Turfn 101, brother.
I gotta get y'all on my joint, because I got a couple.
Hell yeah. No,
I got a couple turfers on there already. So that's why I said like season 2, 3, 4, like it's about to get crazy.
Let's exchange.
Again, it's like bringing the excitement to the dance universe. Like that's what I'm really doing. My thing is just really like letting everybody know like the importance of dancing, the power of dancing, the gift of dancing. It's like, yo, listen, like this could really like save a lot of people, because when you pay attention to a lot of people's stories, like the gift of dancing saved a lot of people's lives.
Right. That's true.
Saved a lot of people's lives. So it's just like I want new kids as well as adults, young adults, to find their way through this gift. Like, you know, whether it's new to you or it's seasoned, like, yo, stick to it. Don't give it up. Because one thing I tell dancers over here, especially as they get older, don't let nobody dance shame you. Don't let nobody trick you out your spot. Because a lot of dancers stop dancing because of the simple fact somebody said to them, "You still dance?"
Bro, I hate that, man. You right. You 100% right? Yeah, you 100% right.
I tell people like, yo, listen, you got to remember, as men, they don't say that to Michael Jackson. They don't say that to Usher. They don't say that to Chris Brown. Why? Because they got their paper right. So for all you men out there, keep dancing and get your paper right.
Right. So we sending
positive. Nobody gonna tell you stop dancing when you got your paper right.
We sending positive energy out there to the universe. Man, we love having you, man. Hope you come back again, man. And thank you, bro, Swizz Beats.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Swizz. Hey, shout out to Flexin.
Turn up.
Swizz Beats. Shout out to Swizz, man. Hey, Flexin, Bruk Up, Dance Hall. Y'all community has been supporting our page a lot. And I respect it, man. I respect everybody that came on here and do interviews. This is interview number. This is actually we got like 20 something. You might be like 26.
To the Turf community, because I mean, y'all didn't have to embrace me when I came over there and I lived there. Like I said, I lived in Efrage and Neem Cream, Neem House. God rest Neem Show. Soul. Shout outs to Tony. Shout outs to Phil. Shout outs to Slow. Shout outs to Grams who passed away. Shout outs to
all of them.
Carter, No Sympathy. Shout outs to 223. Like, yo, listen, there's a lot of people that I would say, like, you know, gave their homes to me. There's a lot of people who fed me. There was a lot of people who looked out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure I always pay it forward. And like I said, like, shout outs to the turf community on a large scale. Like, you know, I tell people all the time, I was like, my 5 years in the Bay was something life-changing. You know what I'm saying? I got close to Jesus in the Bay. I got close to the turf community. I learned how to turf in the Bay. And people like Slow was teaching me. 223 was teaching me. Troll was teaching me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was with some of the guys and the girls who knew what to do with turfing. So
So even when you look at it, you know what I'm saying, sometimes in certain areas like Oakland, and you know, you got areas out there in New York, you know, Oakland sometimes get a bad rep. So that's good that you actually, you know, putting out there the positivity. We are actually a community out here. We have positive people out here.
Know, for all the events that Tro was throwing, Dance for Money.
Right.
All the battles I had. Shouts to Chonky. I tell people all the time, like, my favorite person that I ever battled is Chonky, because Chonky got that energy for me.
Shout out Chunky. Shout out Chunky, baby.
Chunky was just in the video with me and us, man. Check it out on my Instagram.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love the Bay. I got mad love for the Bay. The Bay to me is always home, especially when I come around. Shout outs to Davey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got love for me, and I got love for them. So shout outs to the Bay for real. I feel like Tupac over there.
We appreciate you for coming, man, once again.
I always looked at it like that, like I was Tupac in the Bay. I came from New York and I was over there, and I'm like, yo, what's the odds? I'm making a lot of moves that are very much Pac-like.
Right.
Well, I can't wait for the collab, bro. Let us know when it's good. We're gonna hop on. I'm a Cat Williams, your shit.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna have I got the situation set up there. We definitely gonna turn it.
But y'all, thanks y'all.
We could go on here and talk for hours, bro. We'd be on here for
bro. Hey, let me thank y'all, bro, for watching, bro. Everybody, once again, I started off. I say it in the beginning. I gotta say it in the end. Turfn 101, TURFN_101. That's on Instagram, right? Like, share all the videos you see. That's on YouTube. Subscribe. Major thing. Subscribe. TURFN_101. Turfn 101. Swizz, it was, bro, like I said, bro, it was great to have you. Y'all gonna see him again, because we not done with this. We gonna get some dance hall on here with.
I got some people I'm gonna direct you to.
All right, for sure. Chef, bro, any last words for the people?
Hey man, y'all go check out my boy Swizz, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm just grateful to have you, man, and learn the history of Bruk Up, man. You told it detailedly very well, man. Thank you.
Yeah, shout outs to the whole dancehall community. Shout outs to Jamaica. Shout outs to Bruk Up. Shout outs to Flavor Flav. Shout outs to so many, you know, that paved the way. Like I said, like they entrusted me the information, so you know I gotta move accordingly with it. So again, the details are really gonna come out more as the days go by. Other than that, again, shout outs to Flavor Flav. Shout outs to Bruk Up. And shout outs to the many people who really put their blood, sweat, and tears in the island of Jamaica to make that dance something epic and something, you know, a household name.
Most definitely.
Yes,
shout
sir.
Shout outs for Brooklyn for innovating the dance. You know what I'm saying? And anybody else around the world that will come to love what came out of Jamaica, what was innovated in Brooklyn.
Man, Moonwalker Swizz, bro. Turfn Talks, man.
Turf 101, Turf 101, Turf 101, Turf 101, Turf 101, Turf 101, Turf 101.